Welcome back, guys, to the 6th episode of the Road to Glory series. Today's episode brings you France and perhaps a bit more insight to what this car really struggles with currently. We've had a couple of close races to the points before, and in Baku we scored a surprise podium after some safety cars and whatnot. But here is a real test of what this car is really bad at, and that is power. We struggle so much with power, as in the background you can see our quali lap here. And in a few of our races so far, we have actually had radio messages from Jeff telling us that we have an issue, and then suddenly we can't get above a certain amount of kph. I think 300, 301, 302 is the max that we get. Some of it is due to running high wings, but even in ERS deployment and sometimes slipstream we struggle to get up to speed. As we are gonna head into this quali lap, we get a P7, but a little foreshadowing here, we have P18 on the grid, being 1.2 seconds off. We gotta find more pace.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, Norris, Charles Leclerc and Sainz, Gasly, Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda and Sebastian Vettel, Stroll, Giovinazzi, Sergio Perez and Raikkonen, Ocon, Russell, Ellis and Daniel Ricciardo. They've taken a grid penalty. Mick Schumacher and Nicholas Latifi. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
So we are gonna start P17 after Ricciardo penalty on the mediums. 5 lights have gone and away we go. Decent start on the mediums. We have to watch out for Schumacher and Latifi, who tries to overtake. We dive into turn 1 a bit, overtake a couple of cars, and then lose them on the exit because the rear steps out, and we have to catch the stability again. And another little dive here, and we are gonna overtake on the outside of the hairpin as the cars are slowing down in a train. We managed to clear Giovinazzi here, and we chased after Ocon. In Ocon slipstream, ERS deployed. Look at Giovinazzi. We have the same engine, but we are so much slower. We managed to stay ahead going into the chicane on the inside. And now we are a bit closer to Ocon, still in our slipstream, but here comes Giovinazzi. And it's I think it's part of the challenge that I can't use R&D. I've turned that off and I let the team do it, and sometimes they choose to do chassis upgrades, sometimes they choose to do durability upgrades. I think the one that we actually need is a bit more power. We have another issue here, that I've put the tire pressures up a bit too high, and later on I am gonna cook the tires. But nevertheless we re-overtake Giovinazzi, we're having a good little scrap, and we chase after Ocon, and this time we're a bit closer to him. Now the Alpines and the Aston Martins are cars that we have managed to fight with before, and it basically shows we can fight in the midfield, but we are no match for the top 4 and sometimes Gasly, Alonso. We can't fight with either because they are much faster than their cars suggest that they would be. But we cleared Ocon there, and we are after Raikkonen and the other Alpha. And I think Raikkonen always runs in these positions from P11 to P14, and we always fight him here. But into the hairpin, or not hairpin, the main straight we go. We have DRS on Raikkonen, and with slipstream, DRS and battery, we are gaining on him, but not by that big of a margin. And here we go. We are after the Aston Martins. Vettel ahead of Stroll. We are on the same tires. 2 laps later, lap 5, we're into lap 6 now. We are caught up to them a bit more. Stroll has overtaken Vettel, and we are sort of easing the car into the corners, trying to manage the tire temps.
Tires are 5 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1 minute 37.3. You're gaining by 8 tenths.
So right now I'm way faster than them. Maybe Vettel has some damage, I'm not really sure, because Stroll is still flying ahead. We get DRS, and we are tucked into the slipstream, but we gain in no time there. We actually lose some time, and that just shows you what this car is doing, really. But here on lap 7 we have overtaken Vettel, and we are set after Stroll. Bottas is in the pits, a couple of guys have pitted, and we are gonna come out of this on lap 8, being P3. Vettel tries to re-overtake, and we push him off, protecting our position.
It looks like we might have an issue. Hang in there, we're attempting to manage it.
And for the 1,000,000th time this season, we get that message. And from here on out, you are gonna see us being a tractor.
We can confirm that it's an issue with our engine. The issue seems to be fixed, but we will keep monitoring it our end.
Now he does say that it has been fixed, but it's a bit of a bug, because you can
win that place
feel
back.
it while driving that you are so slow. And you are gonna see in perhaps the next 2-3 minutes how slow we have really become. Now it's important to point out that we have done a mistake with the pressures here. As you can see, the front left tire is cooked and the front right is cooked, and this is on the medium tire. So if we run the soft tires, they would be in the 105, 106 degrees, unusable pretty much. Ocon tries to overtake. We protect by braking later, going on the outside. But it's not really a point, as he overtakes me, but I think he was off the racing track with all 4 wheels, but the game just lets him go with that. I think if I did that, they would tell me to give the position back or get a drive-through penalty, I think. But Ocon overtakes me, Raikkonen is behind me, Giovinazzi is behind me, and I think they have pitted. Or not. I'm not really sure. But they overtake me with ease. Here comes Hamilton, has pitted. He has pitted for sure, otherwise he wouldn't be behind me. We somehow squeeze past Raikkonen on the exit, but we get a terrible exit.
You're going to start losing some tire grip around now.
And here we go. All the cars, and I mean all the cars, is looking to overtake me. Verstappen takes back his position. Raikkonen and the Alphas has taken back their position. Our rival is right behind us, and I think he has pitted, and I haven't. So we are losing so much time here. Yeah, the car is not feeling great at all. And I think in hindsight I should have pitted this lap. It makes no sense to why I would drag this out.
Okay, clear.
So here we go then.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the hards.
Lap 10. Norris is behind us. Russell is behind us. I'm seeing one more guy, but I can't make out who that is. They overtake us with ease. And it's gonna be very painful now on the main straight to keep cars behind. We have a Ferrari behind us as well, and Leclerc is behind us. Struggling with the stability of the car, the grip is absolutely nowhere. We have 44% on our front left. And here comes the car, the slipstream, the DRS, the battery, doesn't matter. Big lockup from Leclerc, Russell overtakes him. It's actually crazy that Russell is running in that position, and Latifi is not far behind him. Either they are stepping up or the Ferraris are bottling it. Gasly overtakes us. It's not really a competition here. And even if I was running higher wings, I think I should be able to make up a bit more time in the corners, but I'm not.
They're in 11th. The time last lap was a 1 minute 39.4.
In the rear view mirrors we see another train heading towards us, Latifi. Behind him Sainz. So this is looking like a last place finish. If not, we can fight with our teammate for a bit, who is right now on the track map, the last running cars. But we are gonna head into the pits on lap 12, and we are gonna box for the hards and try to take them to the end. I'm afraid of softs because I am running way too high pressures. I would basically cook them and they would be unusable after a few laps, maybe 2-3 laps, they would be cooked. 2.7 stop, not bad, but not good either. We are gonna come out
Look after these
the
tires
last
now.
car.
We want to finish the race on this compound.
And the two cars ahead are also running hards, but the other cars are running mediums, and they're gonna be faster. And already you can see on the first corner we are struggling with grip and the rear. But we are gonna skip to lap 21 because nothing really happens. Alonso pitted, that's why he's behind us. We are still P19. But his pace is so much better than ours right now, and he is most likely gonna catch back up. I'm having to drive very carefully not to overcook the tires because hards already have the least amount of grip out of the dry tires, and if you cook them, you're risking shunting the car and basically finishing. All I can hope for now is a safety car, and that would bunch up the cars, and I would have a chance of diving the Williams, the Alphas, maybe the Aston Martins. It's going to be interesting to see where Vettel and Stroll finish this race, because in the beginning stages we had some pace on them, but now that pace dropped off massively.
Okay, the gap behind is 2.0 seconds.
You could see the delta to Alonso just dropping and dropping and dropping, and we have no answer. Now 10 laps of hards and we already have 35-ish% on the fronts, and that is with high downforce. It's not a great result.
Rain is forecast in just over 10 minutes time. Rain in 10 minutes. Nick ahead. Okay, gap ahead is 12.9 seconds. They're on old hards. Their tyres are 8 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 36.6. We're 2.5 seconds slower.
Well, we are around 2.5 seconds slower than the car ahead, our teammate, and probably 4 seconds
We have 5
off the
laps
pace
of fuel remaining.
of the leading cars. Alonso is right next to us, and Here I just give up really. There's no point, so I try to put on the softs and see what I can do on them. Maybe there's a safety car right now, and if that's the case, I am the first person to pit, and I will have to work my way back up.
Go now.
But I wanted to see what my pace would have been if I had a soft stint in me. Another thing that I find really annoying is when you drive without a racing line, sometimes the sun is like blocking or making parts of the track hard to see. I'm running like very high ultra quality on my game, and sometimes it just fucks with your vision a bit. But anyways, that's not really an excuse. It's time to get going. 299, 300, 301, 302 kph. Valtteri Bottas is out of the race. Is that a safety car that we are hoping for? He is parked right now in sector 1. Still yellow. No green flag yet. Is this gonna be a safety car? It does not look like it. That is exactly what we needed to have a chance at a higher grid position here. It's still yellow. Maybe it's just to let other cars know not to fight or overtake them. If it would have been a safety car,
Blue flag.
it would have been out by now. Now we have blue flag behind us, so we let him past. There's no point in holding him up, and behind us is
We're not
Verstappen.
racing the car behind. Let them past when you can.
And we are gonna let him past when the time comes. Now on to lap 24 we go, and as we are heading towards the final part of sector 3, we have another
There's 3
yellow
laps of
flag,
fuel
the
remaining.
other Mercedes car. Is this gonna be a safety car then? What is this
Some
gonna be?
information on the
That's
Red Bull
Lewis
driver.
Hamilton.
Right, some information on Hamilton. It looks like the problem is terminal. They're retiring the car.
And still
Green
no
flag.
safety car. Jeff couldn't make up his mind. Information about the Red Bull driver or information about the Mercedes car. Verstappen wins the race, and as we are lapped, this is also our final lap. Terrible race, absolutely terrible. We finish ahead of Mercedes cars, but in reality we finished P20 out of P20.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
A great race then, and a fantastic victory here at Paul Ricard. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection. A shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently. It's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be proud of the victory they secured here. And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. It wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
Daniel Ricciardo certainly impressed me today. An incredible performance.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. No change in the top spot, but with today's points, their hold on the lead is getting weaker. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today, as they make their way up the standings. Well, that was certainly an incredible weekend of racing. Be sure to join myself and Ant for more exciting
E7 and
Formula One action
E8
soon.
finish for the Aston Martins, and we were close to them this race.
Okay,
May-
we've had the new parts come through the fabrication
Maybe in a
process.
different race we
We'll
would
have
have
them with us
finished
for the next
close to
Grand
the points or in the points, but that is gonna be it for this episode. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.